Hi everybody, this is Jane Van Ostel from Botanically Me and Only by Prayer. I just wanted to do a quick video on some of the things that I'm using herbally during this time to help keep me healthy and help keep my immune system going. So before we start, I just needed to say that I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. These are just some things that I'm using myself, and I wanted to share and maybe give you some inspiration on just some easy little home remedies that you can try to keep yourself and your family healthy. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to talk about thyme. Now, this obviously is a huge bottle of it, but this is the same thing as what you probably have in your spice cabinet to cook with. So what I love about thyme is it's an antimicrobial, and it's also a respiratory antimicrobial. So if you inhale it in a steam, it works deeply in your lungs and can be very helpful for anything, any congestion or what you might have going on in your lungs or that type of issue. If I didn't say it already, it's also an anti-inflammatory. So there's a couple things you can do with it. You can drink it as a tea, or to really get it working in your lungs, you can inhale it in a steam. And that is really pretty easy to do. You just boil some water on your stove, pour it into a bowl, add around a quarter to a half a cup of thyme. If you don't have that much, just get a smaller amount of water in a small bowl and put in like a tablespoon. Make a tent with a towel and inhale it for about 5 to 10 minutes with your face about a foot away from the steam. Now, another fun thing to do, if you happen to have it in a plant, you can just clip several of the sprigs and make a tea from it that way. This is a lemon thyme version. I love this taste with the lemoniness of it. So if you have that, and pretty soon if you're the state that you're living in allows you right now during this COVID-19 virus outbreak, the pandemic, if it allows you to go to the nursery, look for some of these plants, because if they're not in there yet, they will be very soon. This one I grew, I had in the house over the winter, and I have a grow light for it. So you can try it fresh. The lemon makes a really good flavor. Another one that is good for your lungs is called mullein. Mullein is also an antimicrobial. It's very good for coughing. It helps to loosen up any thick mucus in there. And this I got at an herb store. A lot of times if you don't have an herb store close by, look for some boxed teas, and I'll show you a couple of those samples in a minute. But sometimes you can find, like, it'll say mullein on the box, but more often than not, look for one that might say respiratory or for coughing. And that will be another one that will be good for, of course, those type of symptoms. So this I use as a tea, okay? And then next I want to talk, I just have this in a cute little jar. This is Tulsi, also called holy basil. It is a member of the basil family, but it's different than regular basil. So Tulsi is an adaptogen, which means it's good for your overall health. It helps your body adapt to different circumstances. It's also an antimicrobial, and it's really good for stress. And who isn't feeling a little bit of stress during this time? So that's another one I've been drinking a lot of. I think you'll find it helpful. Another favorite of mine that I have been drinking a lot is ginger tea. And here I have the fresh ginger root, which is actually a rhizome. It works in a lot of systems of your body. It works in the stomach, works in the reproductive system, and it works in the respiratory tract as well. It's good for coughing, colds, that type of thing. And if you've ever had ginger, you know it's very warming. So if you feel cold, you're gonna wanna drink a cup of ginger tea, or if you're fighting a cold, it's very good for that as well. Okay, so obviously with these big bottles, I bought these teas in bulk. I live in Indianapolis, and there is a great store down in the Broad Ripple area called Good Earth, and upstairs they have this awesome herb room where I can buy a lot of herbs in bulk. If you don't have a place like that by you, you can buy your herbs in bulk online. And I'll put in my in the post that goes with this video, I'll put a few of those names of resources for you so you can find them. Now, the thing is, during the pandemic, like other things like toilet paper and hand wipes and hand sanitizer, herbs have, a lot of people have been buying out herbs. So certain medicinal herbs are hard to find. But some of the ones we've talked about, or most of the ones we've talked about, I think you'll be able to find. Ginger, you should even be able to find in the grocery store. Now, as far as making your tea goes, I'll put instructions for that. So if you just want to make 1 cup of tea, I'll tell you how to do that. But I also wanted to point out this awesome carafe that I got for Christmas. This is made by Hastings Collective, and it's called a thermal coffee carafe, and this is the 50-ounce version. And it comes with a long infuser. So I use this for tea. You can use it for coffee, but it works great for tea. Comes with 2 infusers. One that is a long one, and another one that's a shorter one, and there's directions with it so you can figure out when do you use which one. But I will make a big batch of tea in the morning, and this will last me for several hours, and it'll stay hot. Let's see if I make it, say, around 7:30 in the morning. It's still really warm by 2 in the afternoon. So this is great, and then you can just sip on it all morning long. So I highly recommend that if you like to drink a lot of tea. Okay, so then if you don't have the bulk or the fresh plants for your herbs like this, don't despair. There are plenty of great box teas around that you can find in almost any grocery store. This one is a Trader Joe's. It's ginger turmeric tea, which is, I love this one. And this is by Tazo. It's an elderberry blackberry. And I love this one too. And I will use this and make this as an iced tea. It's so good. I love the berry flavor, and you've got both the good antiviral aspects of the elderberries. If I didn't mention that, I can't remember if I did, but elderberry it's an antiviral and antimicrobial and an immune stimulant. And there's also elderflowers, which you can use in a tea as well. You've probably heard a lot about elderberries lately because people are making elderberry syrup, and this is another thing that you can hardly find in the health food stores right now. But elderberries are an awesome thing, so look for them in the box tea if you can't find it and you just want an easy way to get them into your diet. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about are tinctures. So tinctures are like, you make them with the fresh herb and then with the type of, well, a lot of times you'll use Everclear alcohol, and you will infuse the plant material in that for a long time. Now these I made last summer from herbs from my garden. However, most of you are not going to have the resources or the time to do that right now. So this is what you'll do. You'll go to your health food store and you can find all types of tinctures already made up, ready to go. The 2 that I showed you, this is a Tulsi, also called holy basil, and we talked about that in my fresh herb. This one is a lemon thyme, and this is a quick way to get the same benefits, a little stronger than drinking the tea. And all you'll do is you'll add like a dropper full to a small amount, about 2 or 3 ounces of water, and drink it down. Okay, so those are some things that I'm doing right now, and I hope that you all are doing well during this pandemic. Actually, there is a lot that we can do to help ourselves and our families and our immune health. So, even just try adding a cup of herb tea a day. One of those that's going to be an anti-stress one, like the Tulsi, one that will boost your immune system. Give any of these things a try, and you'll just feel a little better doing something and taking care of yourself and your family. All right, thanks for watching. Again, this is Jane from Botanically Me and Only by Prayer. Have a great day.